Good morning children and welcome back to your chemistry class. Today in this chapter of aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids, we shall begin with the carboxylic acids. So if you look over here, the organic compounds which contain carboxyl groups as their functional group, they are termed as carboxylic acids, right? Now let us understand the structure of this carboxylic acid, that is COOH. C double bond OH, right? So this is the first structure that I would like to show you over here. So in carboxylic acid over here, if you see, the oxygen atom is more electronegative as compared to carbon atom. Therefore, what happens? The electron density shifts towards this oxygen atom. Now, this makes what? The carbon atom electron deficient. Okay. So, next what has to be shown? Let me draw it for you. Then this becomes electronegative, right? And as I said, this carbon, it becomes electron deficient. So to meet the electron deficiency on carbon atom, it is going to pull one of the lone pairs towards itself. Okay. Thus it shows minus I effect. This is the second resonance structure. Now this shift of electron, it compels the oxygen atom to attract the electron pair in the OH bond towards itself, and this causes, let me draw it and then show it to you. See, this is negative, this becomes a double bond, this becomes, because electron pair is given away, so it becomes electropositive and H. So what did I say over here? That the shift of the electron, it compels the oxygen atom over here to attract the electron pair of the OH bond towards itself, and this causes the hydrogen atom over here to become again electron deficient. So the entire change can be depicted like this, and thus we can say that this carboxylic group, it acts like an acid, right? So over here, if you look, then in structure 1 and 3, the carboxylic acid is electrically neutral, right? As a result, the carboxylic carbon of the resonant hybrid is less positive. But if you look at the carbonyl group, carboxyl group is also polar. Why? Due to the resonance structures that you see in the second part and in the third part. Clear? The carbonyl group, the carboxyl group, is also polar due to the resonance structures in the second part and in the third part. Okay. Now let us talk about the classification of the carboxylic acids. Now classification can be based on the nature of the group attached to the carboxyl group. So they are of two types. What are they? They are aliphatic carboxylic groups, carboxylic acids, okay, and the second one is aromatic carboxylic acids. So what are aliphatic carboxylic acids? When the alkyl group or maybe the hydrogen atom is attached to the carboxylic group, then it is termed as the aliphatic carboxylic acids. Like for example, your acetic acid, that is CH3COH, or even your formic acid, they are all aliphatic carboxylic acids. Now coming to aromatic carboxylic acids, when the aryl group, it is attached to the carboxylic group, then it is termed as the aromatic carboxylic acids, right? For example, your benzoic acid, that will be your aromatic carboxylic acids, right? Now, classification based on number of carboxyl groups. So, if we talk about the number of carboxylic groups, then they can be divided into 3 parts. What are they? First is monocarboxylic acids. What do we mean by monocarboxylic acids? When only one carboxylic group is present, then they are termed as monocarboxylic acid, as the word suggests, mono. For example, you have like acetic acid, CH3COOH, just one carboxylic group is present over here. So this is your monocarboxylic acid. Another one could be like your N-butyric acid, like the formula for it is CH3CH2CH2COOH. So all aliphatic, this is also your aliphatic carboxylic acid. So if they have just one COH group or carboxylic group, then they are termed as monocarboxylic acids. Next, the second type is your dicarboxylic acids. When there are two carboxylic acids present, that is two COH groups are present, then it is termed as dicarboxylic acids. So example could be over here like your oxalic acid, isn't it? Oxalic acid, how do we write? COOH, COOH. So it's a very good example of dicarboxylic acids. Again, like malonic acid, malonic acid can be written as, malonic acid is written as CH2COOH, COOH. So we have two carboxylic groups over here. So this is also your dicarboxylic acids. The third type is your tricarboxylic acids. So as the word suggests, tri means there are three COH groups present over here, right? So example could be like your citric acid. Okay, so what is the formula of citric acid? This is something new, so let us learn the structure of citric acid over here. COOH, okay, then here it is OH, CH2, CH2, COH, COOH. Okay, so this is the formula of citric acid. So you can see three carboxyl groups are present over here. So it is a tricarboxylic acid. And another example is that of your glycol, COL. Okay, so this was all about the classification. The IUPAC system of nomenclature, the monocarboxylic acids, they are named as alkanoic acids. Monocarboxylic acids, what are they known as? Alkanoic acids. Okay, alkanoic acids. And how do we name them? For example, if there is a parent alkane, then you remove E from there and you add OIC to it. For example, like CH3COOH, so it is made up of ethane, so you remove E from there, ethane, you remove E from here and you add OIC over here. So what does it become? It becomes your ethanoic acid. Clear? So this is how we give the IUPAC name to it. Similarly, like CH3, CH2, CH2, COOH. So this is what? It is made up of butane. So you write butane, remove E, and instead of removing E, after removing E, what do you write? Oic acid. So what does it become? It becomes butanoic acid. So this is how we give the IUPAC name to the monocarboxylic acids. Okay. Then in dicarboxylic acids, they are dicarboxylic acids. They are referred as alkane dioic acids. Okay. What are they referred as? Alkane dioic acids. What are they? They are the dicarboxylic acids. The preparation of carboxylic acids. So from oxidation of primary alcohols and aldehydes. Okay. So for example, we take a primary alcohol RCH2OH. This is your primary alcohol. When oxidation takes place, oxidation means we can add MnO4 or K2Cr2O7. They could be in the acidic or in the alkaline medium. Then they are first going to form aldehyde, that is RCHO, and further on oxidation they are going to form carboxylic group, that is RCOOH. This is your carboxylic group formed from the primary alcohol. This is the carboxylic acid that is formed over here, and this is the aldehyde formed. Okay. Then second one could be from hydrolysis of nitriles. So nitrile, if we take like for example RC triple bond N and we add water to it in the presence of a base or an acid, we can take any base or an acid and heat, then we will get the carboxylic acid and ammonia gas will be given out. Carboxylic acid and ammonia gas will be released. Then third method of preparing carboxylic acids could be from Grignard's reagent, right? So let's take Grignard's reagent like RMgX. When treated with carbon dioxide in the presence of dry ether, then it is first going to give us addition compound. So let's see the addition compound, RC double bond O OMgX. This is your addition product. Okay, this is your addition product. And further on treating it with water in the presence of an acid, it is going to give us the carboxylic acid. Let me write it down over here. It is going to give RC double bond O OH plus MgOHX. Okay, so these were the three different ways of preparing carboxylic acids. Talking about physical properties of carboxylic acids. So firstly, the aliphatic carboxylic acids, right, up to 3 carbon atoms, they are what? Colorless. They are colorless. They have a pungent smelling liquid, are pungent smelling liquids. Okay, then next 6 members, that is C4 to C9. What are they? They are oily liquids, right, at room temperature, and they have unpleasant odor. Have unpleasant odor. And the higher carboxylic acids, that is above C9 carbon atoms. Okay, they are what? They are waxy solids. Okay, and they are odorless due to their low volatility. They are odorless due to low volatility. Clear? So all this about aliphatic carboxylic acids are clear to you. Now let's talk about second point, their solubility. What do we know about the solubility? Simple aliphatic carboxylic acids, they having up to 4 carbon atoms, right? They are miscible in water. So till C1 से C4 miscible in water. Now why are they miscible in water? Quite obvious, because of the hydrogen bond formation with water. Okay, and now the solubility decreases with the increase in the number of carbon atoms, which is due to the increased hydrophobic interaction of the hydrocarbon part of it. Clear? So the carboxylic acids are also soluble in less organic solvents, like for example your benzene or ether or alcohol, chloroform and so on. So above C4 they are soluble in benzene, ether, alcohol, chloroform, etc. So I hope till here everything is clear. Now let's talk about boiling point, BP. So as compared to hydrocarbons, aldehydes and ketones, these carboxylic acids, they have higher boiling points. Why? Because they have high extent of hydrogen bonding with the water, and due to which they exist as the associated molecules. Okay, melting point. Let's know the melting point. The melting point of the aliphatic carboxylic groups, they do not show a regular pattern. Rather, they show a very alternative effect, like a melting point of an acid containing even number of carbon atom is higher than the next member, which may be odd number, which may contain odd number of carbon atoms. So we can say that the melting point keeps fluctuating. It is different for even number of carbon atoms and different for the odd number of carbon atoms. But what do we know about the boiling point? As I said, if compared to hydrocarbons or aldehydes or ketones, they have higher boiling point. Okay, their boiling point is higher than, what did I say, hydrocarbons. I had hydrocarbons, aldehydes and ketones also. Okay, so this is all for today. Next video I shall be talking about the chemical properties of carboxylic acids. Thank you.